We know this ain't right. Man, this can't be life. We gotta unite.
Let's get into this. Now, wherever there's rules, right, there's a ruler. Okay? Now, citizens, the word citizens is the same as subjects. And this is slaves. Subjects and citizens are slaves. All right? Now, we're in the period, right? So that means it's the restoration. The crown is being returned back to the people, right? Because means the crowning. When a baby is being born and you see the head coming through, that's called the crowning. Okay? Now, we all know about this George Orwell. We've all heard about this. We've all heard about this. But what's taking place? Okay, it feels like we're here, right? In 1984. And this right now, Animal Farm playing out. We the people are the animals. And all the species are coming together, right? Because in this story, all the species came together and they created a constitution to remove the tyrannical farmer. Okay? Give me 1 second. My baby cat wants to go out. Luna. This is a very important live. My baby cosmic galactic cat. You won't go see your brother. Okay. My baby princess. She's so fluffy. Okay. So, thank you for your patience. All right. So, they got together to overcome corruption. Okay? And this is highlighting to you guys natural law and maritime law. Okay? Now, I want to cover this word here, amendments, right? Because what happened is there was an amendment, right? When you make amendments, what happens is there was some animals are more equal than others. Okay, this kind of destroyed the natural law and order. Okay, because what happens is when all the species came together and created a constitution, and they made an amendment, right? This is now open for corruption and it's compromised because all the original contract makers were not there. Okay? So now this is open to corruption, right? And now what happens is when you've made an amendment, now instead of all being equal, some are more equal than others. Okay? So the animals who had come together now have to work against each other. And there's a conflict to stay on top. So can you see what is happening? This is a representation of what's happening to us. Okay, and what happens is it starts to pull away. We pull away at each other's energies when we don't come together. We pull away each other's energy to stay on top. Okay, now let's look at this word amendment. Because these smelly pirates speak in Parsi to hijack your consciousness right here. Okay? Amendment. A means no. It's a non-contract word. Men is man. Mente is your mind to think. So when they're making amendments, which is now open for corruption and can be compromised, really hijacking the consciousness when they're saying, no man thinks. Okay? A man can't think. Yeah? So these are really hijacking. This is a Parsi. Again, the original people who created and put these contracts and constitution were not there. Yeah. So that is a tool that you're using. You're hearing a lot of this amendment, that amendment. It's the corruption that comes with it. Right? Baby cat wants to come back in. Oops. Come, Luna, I'm going to keep the door open for you because I think you just want to go play in the garden. You do. Okay. Right. There's many things to cover today. Going to quickly look at your comments, and I'm going to try to stay focused, right, guys, because there's a lot to cover. I'm 20 and I feel like I shouldn't be this informed. Sarah, you're protecting our souls with words. Thank you for that comment, 587 Clutch. Yes, guys, our words are really important. That's why I'm trying to show you what is taking place, how the hijack is taking place. What we're now trying to be is linguistic alchemists, right? Alchemy, transmuting those energies. Okay, guys. Now, what they do is, if you can control one's thinking, teach them a 2D way of thinking, two-dimensional way of thinking, that there's only black and white, rich, poor, red state, blue state, heaven, hell, all these things. This is after a little bit, after like 90 days, you become programmed. And you can't see any other thinking, any other dimensions, unless something else, another paradigm comes. Okay? So children at a very, very early age, they've been taught a phantom thinking, right? And this phantom thinking can become so real, can appear so real because they don't know anything else. For example, if you tell a child there's a monster under the bed, they will always be in fear of that monster. They'll always be scared until one day perhaps that child might go look under the bed and go, there's no monster. Yeah. So this 2D thinking, this your heaven and your hell and your monsters under the bed, all your middlemen, they're robbing you of this full spectrum thinking and to see beyond the veils. All right, let's look at these notes. It's better if you can get a visual of what I'm trying to say to you. So this phantom thinking here, let's see here. Okay, so these smelly pirates, okay, when they're trying to blind the people and the children, because when babies are born, right, their focal point and color, seeing in color, is not developed yet. They know this. So if you're only teaching them 2D thinking, right, you've set a program after 90 days. Yeah. So this is called a phantom thinking. All your boogeymans and all that. And once there is a paradigm shift, when the belief is gone and the fear is gone, and there's no monsters under the bed, you can start to see the truth and the light. Okay? Because these phantom thinking is robbing you of the full spectrum to see all around you. Now, these ones who take leadership of us knows all this science and alchemies and trickeries. They know about energy, frequencies, and vibrations. They know our eyes are like cameras. So when we're taking in this object, the light hits, what we see is a true image. And whatever we have been programmed to perceive it as, this is what the image converts into. This is called the power of perception. Okay? Faith with the Creator requires no middleman. So you don't need a vicar or a pope or whatever. Okay? Because you are now in commune with the geometric playing field. Okay? So when they're trying to put you on a 2D thinking, they're robbing you of the spectrum of your way of thinking. Yeah? So this is why we need to be very mindful. Now, guys, there's some things that's going to be difficult to hear, especially for the mothers. Okay, to what has happened. We're going to cover these things. We're going to cover what I like to always talk about is natural law, guys, because you need to be careful with common law. Because when you're dealing with common law, you're now dealing with chieftains, lords, thieves. Okay? Now, these, give me 1 second to look at my notes because there's so much. I want to break it out quite simply because it's upsetting to hear some of it. Guys, it's quite upsetting to see. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Does Saturn have a big influence? Yes, it does. I'm going to cover that in a minute, sweetheart. Okay, guys, these chieftains, right? These are all sellouts. These are all your Mugabes and your Gandhis and your JFKs and all these fakes. Yeah. And every country has their own what's called a caste system. Okay. And it's quite upsetting because each of these chieftains who they control and own and made claims to all the minerals in their jurisdiction. Okay? So they've also made, when I'm saying made claims to the minerals, they make claims that they own the minerals, the livestock, the people, the trees, their produce, the gold, the silver, all the metals, and everything on top of the surface. And they also own the air, right? So in their world, if this is their jurisdiction here, they own everything outwards, okay? It's all owned. So they control who gets hit by the chemtrails and the frequencies, whose land gets burned, right? If you're claiming to be a subject, a slave, a citizen, right? Now, these lords are owner of land and cattle, which is us, okay? And these ones here, they pretend to be victims of the British Empire. They all work together. The chieftains work for the British Empire. Yeah. So they have your districts and your provinces, your continents, regions, councils, parishes. Yeah. Remember I told you district. This is the goddess of trickery. Hence the word district. Yeah. And for my good people in Canada, if you're saying you're living in a province, you need to understand what this word means and why they can treat you like shit. Because province means the whole of a country. This is according to the British Empire. The province means the whole of a country outside the capital, especially regarded as lacking in sophistication or culture. So they're saying that these people in the province, you're just, you're not sophisticated and, you're dumb. So they can do whatever they want to their subjects. Okay? These chieftains can do whatever they want to their subjects. Because also a province is a principal administrative division of countries or empires. Now, what flag is Canada under? Under the British Empire. Yeah. And these are sellouts, guys. Your chieftains, all of these, your Mugabes and all your Gandhis and all these are sellouts to the British Empire. Yeah. They're robbing you of all your possibilities, right? So you can't see 360. Now, let's talk about the power of perception. Let's talk about many things. Let's talk about these chieftains who are in trouble. We're coming for them one by one. Right. Now they hide. They create these city-states because if the good people knew that we are the creditors and they are the debtors and they owe us, we are the creditors of all of this. Church of England, City of London, Queen Elizabeth II, principalities, Securities and Exchange Commissions, Vatican. Every single bank on this planet, we're the creditors of. Transport, all of this, guys, all of this. We're the creditors of all of this. So they owe us. They're nothing without us. They have no spirit. This one's in trouble. This one is in so much fucking shit. You have no idea. Guys, what I'm about to tell you next, you might want to take a deep breath for. Yeah. Even I always have to take a deep breath before I talk about this. Luna, I have to shut this door. It's cold. Okay. Let's do this. I've been thinking all day how to deliver this to you guys. I'm just going to have to speak from the heart and show you. It's a lot of hijack. A lot of things I'm going to tell you today, guys, is things they purposely keep away from you so you don't know. When I'm telling you the truth is more disturbing than the lie, it's because it really is. Yeah. My setup. Even my setup is flopping over because it's too much. There we go. Okay. Right. Now, let me show you what's taking place. Deep breath, guys. Deep breath. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for joining me. Investing possibilities. This is going to be the hugest transfer of wealth, generational wealth, and curses are being broken. True word. I'm going to show you why. That's a super fire comment. Bad example says, be very mindful of information from individuals in the comments. Yeah. Be mindful about everything. Come on, let's jump into this, guys. Sister Sarah will cover more than enough for us. Just listen, pay attention. Thank you. Yeah, come on, guys. All right, Mama Bears. Yeah, this one's going to be difficult for the mommies. Yeah, so my love is with you. I have two sons myself. All right, guys, let's do this. You want a hug? I know, darling, we'll have hugs after, okay? I know you can feel the energies. You know, don't you, darling? Yeah, that the mama bears are going to be upset when they hear about this, but we're going to have remedies and solutions. All right, guys, listen, we're being kept in they've been trying to keep us in a time loop, but we've been birthed now. Okay, now, guys, remember they told you Jesus rose after 3 days. 3 days is a very important time, because a lot of people don't know this. Is 3 days, you have 3 days to refuse a contract. And when Jesus died, he refused the contract of death, and he came back to life after 3 days. Because all coroners, guys, all coroners know this. They all know this. Yeah. If a body is left uncontaminated, left alone, right, a body can come back to life after 3 days, especially in colder conditions and climates. Okay. And in World War II, soldiers were being buried alive. Because what it is, guys, is when you're in a lot of trauma or something has happened to your body has a natural response to die, but you're not really dead. You're breathing 5 to 6 breaths a minute, which will be missed by the coroner. To shut down like this or go into a coma is your body's natural defense. And your soul in those 3 days can make a decision whether it wants to come back up or it doesn't have enough energy and no longer wants to power this vessel. Violence, I got smashed in the head and my brain was falling out. And I told you I had a near-death experience where 3 beings were there. I could hear the cops, the ambulance, and all that around me. But I jumped back up. I came back up, and they're like, were very surprised. I looked at the ambulance with my brain falling out and everything. I was like, your services are no longer required. And I asked the cops to leave. They're like, would you like us to arrest your partner who smashed in your head? I was like, no. I will deal with him myself, but I'll need you to leave the house because you'll arrest me for doing what I have to do to him. And they were just like, what the freak? This girl just rose up. Because my soul has decided this is what I wanted to do. I decided it was not my time. Okay? In World War III, they were burying a lot of soldiers, and upon further inspections of these coffins, you found a lot of scratches on these coffins with bloody fingers. And they were trying to say it was how do you call it? How do you call it? Reflexes. Pero no. Some chose to come back. And these county coroners, they know, all of them know, that we have the ability to choose to come back after a few days. It's called the 72-hour rule. Okay. 3 days to refuse a contract. Yeah. Jesus refused to die after 3 days and came back. Yeah. Comas and deaths. That is just natural's body's defenses. Now, when it comes to the babies, guys, when they're cutting the umbilical cord, they know what they're doing. If a farmer saw anyone cutting the umbilical cord off the lamb and stuff, they will kill you because they know what you're doing to this lamb. What they're doing to us. Before all the necessary codes comes from the placenta through the umbilical cord to the baby, they cut it on purpose, by design, because they know if you cut the cord, you're going to get a partially disabled baby who cannot, who doesn't have strong immunity. And could you imagine? They didn't cut the cord, and we had all because they're making a hijack on our genetic codes. It's a hijack, guys. I'm going to talk about this. So when they cut the umbilical cord before the placenta is fully emptied into the baby, it's partially disabled. Yeah. Because all the placenta, when it's fully emptied into the baby, it has the ability to grow fast and heal, and your intelligence and our full capacity has been hijacked. I'm trying not to cry because it is very upsetting. Yeah. We don't ever need to go. We need to write to all these doctors, because I'm going to tell you something, guys. In nature, if anyone tries to come and attack a lion cub or a baby hippo, they won't let you come near their baby without a fight. In fact, they will kill you. If you mess with the babies, they will come and kill you. That's natural law. Natural law, not man-made. True word. Okay. Nature always finds a way to heal, right? And no animal in nature allows anyone to hurt their offspring. I told you, this is natural law. Living men and living women will hang you. It's the death penalty. You touched the children. Coming after you guys. These ones here. Yeah. You need to be getting our pens straight away. Writing to these hospitals, to these doctors. I'll tell you why it's powerful in numbers. 500 of us. That's all it'll take. Stop this madness. You see what they're doing to our children straight off the bat? Not only do they take the name and the blood and all this, they're disabling you. Yeah? They don't even show women how to give birth in a natural position. They do it in the most horrible, the most disabling ways. No. I'm going to try to keep myself calm. Right? Because they keep you traumatized at all points to keep you away from your power. To know that you have 3 days to refuse a contract, any contract. Now know, when they're harvesting organs, organ harvesting can only happen when one is alive. You cannot harvest from a dead body. You cannot get life force from a dead source. Bear that in mind. Yeah. These are the Kronos, Saturn, Satan times. Now, they don't want you to know about the power of 13. Yeah, they want to brainwash you. They want you to think 13 is bad luck. Friday the 13th. No 13th floor is bad luck. They don't even want you to think. Because your genie knows what's happening. So I told you. There's the subconscious hijack. Yeah? Subconscious hijacking going on. Yeah. Sorry, so much going on. Now, give me 1 second, guys, because it's disturbing. Let me just check the comments to make sure everyone's okay. Yeah, make sure, because I know there's mama bears in here. I love you all so much. Thank you, Sarah. This is what matters the most. You're so welcome. Noah loves freedom. Yeah. Should we not donate our organs? Oh, hell no. No, no, no. No, no. No. Don't have a driving license. If you're not doing commerce, get rid of that. Stop paying your tax. Stop paying your bills. I'll cover that in a moment. In numbers. We need to be in numbers, guys. I'll explain to you why. I'm going through the numbers. We've done 3, right? Now we're covering 13. Yes, do home births. You want to do home births. They've made us terrified to make us obedient. Protect the youth, the future of tomorrow. Thank you so much for your comments, guys. Red pens or purple pens. Your own pens, not thank you. Investing possibilities. Exactly. Red pen means you're a living man. Purple means you're sovereign. Black pen means, black ink means you're dead. Blue means maritime law. We must empower our women. They have all the capability in the world to birth our own. And women have this special women's intuition. We know when something's not quite right. Okay, let's get into it, guys. Thank you for your comments. I will go back and look at some more. But let's get into this because there's a lot to cover. Yeah, and I want you to all be able to protect yourselves and see how. 3 days to refuse a contract, guys. 3 days. The dead can come back. That's why you're seeing people getting up from the morgue in Russia and things like that. I was talking about that in my last live because they didn't consent. If you don't touch the body, if you don't start doing all this, that's why they want to start doing autopsies and all sorts of fuck shit straight away. They know what they're doing. Yeah, they know what they're doing when they're cutting the cord of the baby. They know, this is all witchcraft. So, witchcraft. Occult means hidden. Alright, guys, so that's the three days. What am I? 3:13. Okay, Jesus had 12 disciples, right? And there's 12 constellations, 12 months, all these things. What they don't tell you about 13, they don't want you to think about the number 13 because the number 13, this is, you now make a council. You bring all of it together. You have full dictatorial power over all corporate governments, right? So what happens is you get 12 qualities of living men and women, like the 12 tribes of Israel. It was actually 13th, but one was lost. Yeah. So now we're coming together. So it's coming together on a level playing field, guys. We either come on a round table or a square table, the four corner rule. That's what happens. So what happens is when we all come together, all agree, we can draw up our own constitution. Yeah? So it's the 13 tribes of Israel and the one lost, the 12 tribes and the one lost is your 13 tribes. We are now in our 13th dimension, the realms. Okay? So I want to talk about this, the genetic code, right? Our code here, our genie, our genetic code is our genie. When you're being genuine, when you're being generous, that's your genie, your genetic codes, which live in your cells, activating. It's when you're being authentic, you're being autonomous, generous for the generation, that is your genetic code. And your genetic code contains all the codes to fulfill all that you wish and you dream and desire. Okay? Yeah. And this, here, your genetic code, which lives in your cells, it has all the power of the universe. You want to look at epigenetics. So every time you are operating genuinely, autonomously, authentically, generously, that's your genie. And they want to mess with the gene pool, guys. They're messing with the gene pools. Yeah. So let's talk about the power of 500. What can you do with 500? You know how they say, give us $500, give us £500 deposit. Give us £500 deposit. It's subconsciously trying to hijack you. Yeah. You need 500 votes, living souls to vote or elect into power to bypass any false authority. Okay? You, after 500, you have the ability to vote in whoever you want. It's called a write-in. Yeah. For example, let me give you an example. I have more or less 5,000 followers. This is our community. And if a video of mine gets taken down and deleted, it gets flagged for going against community guideline, that must mean someone within our community has been, making claims that I'm being fraudulent or hurting the community or whatever. Now, say like if 500 of you made a comment or sent in my video and said, we've looked at Sarah's video and we strongly feel she didn't go against any guidelines. Well, that's that. 500, you voted and elected that Sarah's videos have not gone against the guidelines. Yeah. So that's the pool of women and men. Your gene pools, your genie. What do you do with your genie? Are you going to be generous, authentic? You're going to be nefarious, like a smelly pirate, hijacking consciousness. Huh? So the reality is, like, so if the video gets taken down, it goes against the thingy. Who gave them the power to take down the video? Who voted and elected for the censorship? Who in the community? Within our community. You can't get an outsider to come and censor. They're not in our jurisdiction. See what's going on there? So, now, let's talk about the county coroner. I have talked about this, where they are watching everyone. They want to see signs of life. Who's acting dead? Who's showing signs of life? Right. They're in trouble. These ones are in trouble. Right? These ones who are trying to take your this one. I can't say the word. Get flagged. Because this means they want to take your crown. Because you're the creditor. Yeah? They want to control this. Yeah. And they will have who's listed as dead or living. And you're listed as dead if you're doing the following. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention. Pay attention. You are listed as dead If you have a mortgage, which is a death pledge, okay? Because according to them, you would have died from being brain dead. You didn't look at the small print, right? You didn't look at the small print saying that after you've paid it all, you're merely a tenant. You registered all this shit, you gave it all away, so you're brain dead. You're living, you're this. Yeah? You're this. And if you're in debt and you're paying taxes and you're paying bills and loans, you're dead. Yeah? Debt is dead. Now, if you are pickling your brain and liver with alcohol and doing your drugs, your crack, your meth, your heroin, your LSD, all this shit, yeah, you've just agreed to do a chemical lobotomy on yourself. Yeah, that's how they have you. Because all this shit messes with your brain. You might as well lobotomize yourself. If you're committing crimes against man, you're dead. You're just dead people do this. And if you don't respond to logic, if you don't respond to logic, for example, on the box of these masks, it says it does not protect you and all this, and you still, no logic, stupidity. Stupid people can be very dangerous, can do very stupid things that can make you very in danger, like our children. Yeah. If you're a liar and a cheater, yeah, you're dead. Dead people do these things because now liars and cheaters are not authentic, and you're not like generous, and you're not genuine. Yeah? Yeah? Real living souls don't do these things. Real living souls don't do this. Yeah? If you got this, experimental poisons from people you don't even know and have never met, you're listed as, because you corrupted this, you corrupted that, because now it's patented and owned. Yeah, sure is. And I'm sorry, this has been so difficult, guys. I've really thought for months how to break this shit down. Because all of this shit, these instruments of death, is your mortgages and your fines and your parking tickets and your loans, your student loans, instruments of death. Yeah. These lords and these temporals, spiritual, which they're not spiritual at all, they have to take all your life forces. However you want to call it. Yeah, however you want to call it. Temporal means something purely in your mind. It's only in your mind. Now, if you're uttering oxymorons, mortgage, mort means dead, gauge means to grip, means death grip, death pledge. Moronic. They want to know, are you brain dead? Are you not capable to think? Are you not autonomous? Huh? Do you need someone to govern your mentals? Do you? Yeah, and this one here, this one here is, I'm super pissed with this one, removing your abilities to make your wishes and your hopes and your dreams. This coming for you, coming for you. So these ones here, the county coroner court, they deal with all your fines and things. If you're going to these fake dead courts where they're wearing black to honor the dead on an unlevel playing field, just straw man. Fiction. Coming for them. Yeah, no animal in nature allows you to hurt their offspring. They will kill you. Now you've got what's human, not a man or a woman, human. Yeah, humans allows their offspring to be injected by poison to keep slave jobs, to pay for, to give your life forces for a death pledge. Yeah. Instruments of death. Recorded as dead. I did try to tell my ex-husband. Told me I couldn't see my son. I haven't seen him since he was 16. He's now 18. Because apparently all these things I speak about is conspiracy theories. So anyone who's still saying conspiracy theory, you will be listed as dead. What are you, illiterate? Can't read? That's how they're thinking. Not me, guys. Not me. I'm trying to be patient and kind. So now we know. Power of 3. Can refuse contracts, even death. Yeah? Look. Comas, deaths. Breathing is 5 to 6 times per minute. So coroner will miss that. Yeah. Because there's an 80-20 rule, guys. There's an 80-20 rule. There's an 80-20 rule for this. 80% of them are demons, 20% is good. Yeah? Yeah. 500, guys. Who's gonna write into the doctors? Anyone cutting these cords like a baby lamb, you're going to be shot and hung. No doctor should be cutting the cords. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Now, going on to the next topic, because it's disturbing. Just quickly look at a couple comments. Etymology. Thank you, Apollonia, for this comment. Etymology is key, as is the so-called dead language, Latin. If Latin is such a dead language, why do all the doctors, lawyers, and so-called secret societies use Latin as a form of communication? Fire comment, Apollonia. I love Apollonia. She's so lit. Full of helpful comments. One day I'm going to get her on a live. I know she's super shy. But all these things I speak of, I hope you guys will find your voice and use your platforms to spread this knowledge. 3, the number 3, the power of 13, and 500. Can everyone hear me? Freedom's with you. Says there's no sound. Do you want to try jumping out and coming back in? Because no sound. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys all hear me? I see a couple says there's no sound for them. Their sound. Okay, we're good to go. Jay Scooch is here. Yay. Hey Apollonia. Hi, Sarah. Hi, three times the glam. Hi, One Black Cherokee. Hi, Stacy Green. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you so much. Wait for a few more because I know you guys were waiting. I just had to grab a drink and look at the notes. You're gonna want to hear. You're gonna want to hear this. There's only 2 more pages, guys. Only 2 more pages to go. Let's just do a quick recap for anyone who's joining now. First and foremost, I want to activate the full armor of God for anyone who is watching this live now and in the future against any negative forces, known or unknown, may not trespass our sacred space. And so it is. Right, we've talked about Animal Farm, guys, and about the Constitution, and about amendments, and how that was open for corruption because the original parties aren't there. An amendment actually means that a man doesn't think, that you can't think. We talked about the hijack and the 2D programming of your children and people. It takes 90 days just to keep them in this traumatized 2D thinking, because you're going to hijack their whole vision, their whole playing, the whole geometric playing field is now hijacked. Okay? And we've talked about yeah, guys, there's this saying here. H.G. Wells says, in the kingdom of the blind, the man with one eye is the king. Really think about that. Yeah, that's why there's a lot of reference to the one-eyed monster. Anyways, the days for these middlemen are over. Right, we've talked about we talked about how they hide in the city-states, but they're still going in the lake of fire. Did we cover this? The instruments of death, the instruments of paper. You see all of these here. No, I didn't cover this. No, I didn't cover this. Not all of it. Yeah, I didn't cover this. There's lots to cover. Okay, yeah, guys. Yeah, I didn't cover this bit. Let's talk about these city-states, which we have quite a few of them. We've got this one here. London, Vatican, Washington, you're all in trouble. Yeah. Remember what I told you about lords. Lord is, they own the land and the landlords and the cattle and all that. And these chieftains here, they work on crop rotation, right? And that means land, you work the land, then you leave it to be, and then you work it again. And they're working us, the people are the farm, right? Like in Animal Farm. And there's a 99-year lease, guys, right? And this time is coming up. Right? And what they do is they're going to be depleting and removing all the energies of the people, all the trees and the soil, and take all the sweat equity, and they're going to put it into their treasury. Yeah, everything. Yeah, because church means Lord, owner of the land and cattle, right? So every 99 years, these pirates, they come, right? These landlords, they come and they take everything. Yeah. Yeah. So when you go to church, yeah, so church means Lord, just so you know. Lord is not like God like you think. Sorry, my battery's going here. Let me just quickly plug that in. It's the landlord. So when you pray, when you go to your church and you pray, and you're praying to the Lord, You're praying to the Lord of England. Yeah? Yeah. You're praying to the ones who take your energy from the people. That's the Bank of England, Federal Reserve Bank, Church of England. Yeah? Yeah. And if you don't pay, you see, and these ones, all of your Bank of England and all that, they created fraud documents. It's called money. Yeah, and they created mortgages and instruments of death, credit cards, mortgages, student loans, loan agreements, parking tickets, speeding fines, prison. Yeah, they created all of this. Yeah? All controlled by the chieftains who are rapists. Yeah? Because if you don't pay back, they will threaten you with force. All of them here, these sheriffs, constables, in their we're coming for you. Trying to take our crown. Okay. Yeah. Now, don't be fooled, guys. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by Parliament. Don't be fooled by this Parliament and House of Lords, because we're going to cover this common law here. I'm going to explain something here. These chieftains here, they pretend to be victims of the British Empire, but they're not. They said, oh, if we don't, we're under tyranny. No. Same. They're sellouts. They tell you they're victims and all that, and they get you to consent. I'll show you how. For example, now you've got this smelly city of London here. It's the city-state, independent of all other land masses, right? But this city of London is in England. Now, you see these MPs lowering their heads? You see? This is how they do the trickery. They make the MP, they show the MP lowering the heads to the lords. So you make them think that they're these victim chieftains, same like these victim chieftains. No. They have more power than, no. They convince, so these ones here tell these MPs, parliaments, to convince the subjects, the slaves, to just give all their power and speak babble and give their life forces. The same ones, they're going to take everything from you. Yeah? This one here, this Archbishopy of the Canterbury. He's in so much trouble. I'm gonna talk about him another day because I'm trying to keep my cool today. Yeah, so the lords are also Commonwealth. So watch out for the Jubilee, guys. The Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee coming up, guys. Yeah, she's gonna take everything. She's gonna go to the city-state by special visitation to give everything they've took, putting everything in the treasury, the crop rotation time. Yeah. Anyways, that's why we've got the remedy here. We can refuse all these contracts. We can write our own constitutions and things, can't we? We can vote and elect. Yeah, we can. Yeah. Trying to keep us traumatized and shit. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to cover that bit. I thought I covered that, but I wanted to just... Sorry, so many notes. So we talked about the acting. Oh, yeah, okay, guys, yeah. Very important. Very important. I'm going to just stick my phone on charge for one moment, guys. That's why you see it at a weird angle. Because my phone was on charge and I couldn't quite move it. It's on the cord thing. Okay, guys. I'm going to talk about... I'll have to code this. I'll have to code this and they'll kick me off. Let me look at some comments while I quickly think. Makes sense now why it sticks in my mind. Now, let me go to the top. I forget, I should always read it from the top upwards. So many comments, guys. Thanks again for joining me. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love and support. Open your mind for knowledge and intentions are pure. Yeah, we've got to keep our intentions pure. Living souls, we're genuine and we're authentic, guys. We don't want to trespass anyone and we don't do any harm. But if you're dealing with a sociopath, a narcissist, you know, a false authority like government, who are sociopaths, for them to not lie and cheat is very difficult. Yeah, for someone soulless, if you tell them don't steal, don't lie, it's very difficult for them. Whereas for us, we can't even think about these things. I wouldn't dream of killing anyone or hurting. Are you mad? It makes me feel so gross inside. Hi, Scooge. Hi, Jay Scooge. It's all maritime admiralty law, law of the sea. Don't pay your mortgage, or to moor a vessel. You're in hot water. Exact, Scooge. That's why we're dealing with etymology, so we can get to the root of the words, the meaning of things, because all the answers, all the hidden meanings are in the words, right? So, the trickery would be brilliant if it wasn't so dastardly, isn't it? It's just disgusting, Apollonia, isn't it, darling? I did say this trickery they've done is master genius. Just such a shame it enslaved all the good men and women on the planet. Refuse contractual agreements with these entities. Exactly, Scooge. Do not consent. No name, no game. Stop paying your mortgages. You can... Little G Flexing covers a lot of this. You can go onto YouTube and watch Mark Keyshawn Christopher. He covers this and breaks it all down. Many things. I won't name too many key names because they get a bit pissy about that. But if you go look on my page, I mention all these things. This is why we're in so much trouble in Australia. Exactly, darling. They're trying to take the corona. They know that the good men and women, it's harvest season, guys. They're doing it on rotation. Everyone's on a hit list. There's certain things going on. Let me quickly look at the Australian Canada part of my notes again, because it's quite important, just because I know quite a few of you are here, guys. Okay, all you Canadians and Australians, stop saying you're citizens. Say you're a living man and a living woman, because the moment you utter the word citizen, you're saying you're a subject, you're a slave. Yeah, it's all in the words that we speak. On my page, I show you which words is good to speak and what's not. What really, right now, everyone needs to be putting their head down and studying. Try not to speak if you don't know what you're speaking of. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to talk about here, right? Because it's hot all over, but it's not what they say it is, because they're giving you a distraction. Okay, I'll tell you what the deal is, what many people don't know. Right, guys, back in the 90s, was it the 90s? Yeah, back in the 90s, Many people don't know this, but Russia had a 10-year blackout. Does anyone remember that? Sure did. Do you know in Russia they've banned microwaves? You're not allowed microwave. You ain't gonna have a microwave meal. Joking me? Frequencies, those harmful microwave frequencies killing your food. Then you're putting it in you. They know. You see the Tartarian buildings, the very unusual buildings in Russia. You see that? You see that? See how they say, like, Putin's a bad guy. I'm not really into these politics, and all this, but it is what it is, because, like I said, there's a 80-20 ratio going. 80% is bad, 20 is good, because it has to be some sort of game. Otherwise, there's no game. You can't play this game if you don't have this ratio. Now, Russia has developed this technology, guys. They have technologies which is healing frequency technologies. You've heard about med beds and things. This is technology from centuries ago. I'm talking Tartaria. This is what they hide as well. They hide Tartarian technology, which is going to be released to the public very, very soon, guys. This is why they're doing this fake war, because they're trying to do a hijack. In Russia, as standard, guys, as standard in Russia, in the hospitals and stuff, their standard medical kit is kits with frequencies. It's got healing frequency devices, comes as standard. Which people in America, Canada would know nothing of this. Nothing. So Russia has been developing these technologies and using these technologies for a long time. Because the thing is, pharmaceutical meds, they're only 5 to 6% effective. The pharmaceutical companies know this. Right? They know this. What does pharmacy mean? The makers of poisons and potions. And that's what it is. And these big farmers, they have invested in certain places. Yeah? Especially for... Because if you've got sick people, if they're controlling... Remember I told you these chieftains... They control the land, the surface, the air. Remember? Here, let's recapies. Told you here, these chieftains here. Chief commoners, they're called. Right? And they own the minerals, the livestock, the people, the trees, the produce from the farmlands, and the gold, the silver, the precious metals, everything on the surface of the land, and the air, I told you, right? Ceiling. So this is the flat plane, here's the core. So they own all of that. So if they want to chemtrail you and poison your air and do whatever, they can. Especially if you live in provinces. Remember I told you what a province is? It means like it's a whole country outside of a capital. And it's regarded as lacking in sophistication and culture. So if the chieftain thinks that their subjects, their slaves, are lacking in culture and sophistication, yeah, they can go. Very easy. They'll drug you. Put drugs and crack in your neighborhood and stuff. Hike up your bills and tax. Keep your stress. Your mortgage every month. If you don't pay every 30 days, if you don't give all the resources every 30 days to keep that shit going, they'll take that from you, throw you in jail, give you fines, whatever they want. Take your car, take your kids. See that? See that? So Russia has got this healing frequency devices because they know the medicine, the metacin. I told you it's the metacin, not medicine, metacin. Yeah. Yeah. So they're keeping you distracted because they don't want you to know the ones who've invested, made a lot of investments. They've worked very hard, right? And they're the debtors. Remember these ones who've made the investment, they're the debtors, we're the creditors. And if they have the means to pay, which they do, they have to pay us back, which means they owe us, and they rather kill us than pay us back. Fuck. Yeah. So what they also don't want you to know is that Putin, he's set up all over the realm, what's called free ports. And free ports are economic tax-free zones, yeah?